Всем привет, ребята! Сегодня постримим немножко. Поиграем в Genshin. Накопилось квестиков всяких разных, поэтому Genshin надо вперед. Осталось 5 заданий легенд. Привет, бомба! Сегодня успела на стрим. Вот. В общем, сейчас будем проходить сюжетку. Вот. Я, кстати, дошел до 12 этажа бездны. Правда, я прошел первую комнату без звезд вообще. Я ее прошел 3 секунды оставалось до конца. А вот во второй комнате меня вальнули. Короче, там уже 98 левелы, и я так понял, что если у меня нет 90 левела, лучше туда вообще не пихаться. Но, во всяком случае, О, ты колокольчик поставил. Какая ты молодец. Вот. В общем, 12 этаж бездны это жесть, но я его открыл. Вот. Так. Ну что, у нас задание легенд. Их 5 штук. Раз, два, три, четыре, 5. Давайте подряд все делать. Начнем с расчетливой комнаты. Вот, сколько успеем делать, столько и сделаем. Мы знаем, что квесты долгие, там много болтовни, и поэтому я бы хотел взять пару часиков постримим. Вот. Как вам новый ивент в Genshin, где надо нажимать мелодии? Я прохожу и вроде уже начинаю привыкать. Я так понял, что там есть 3 звезды, но я прохожу только на 2. У меня очень кривые пальцы. Как вы проходите? У вас все норм, так сказать, на ивент? О, Женя, привет. Может, хватит уже снега на заставке? Так, снег за окном, и на заставке снег. Вот, я очень жду, когда снег исчезнет, чтобы завести мотоцикл и начать катать. Я вообще планировал сегодня уже его выводить, но погода все планы нарушила. Дела. Очень обидно. Всех мотоциклистов мотоксикоз, все хотят весну, все хотят отсутствие снега и уезжать на дороге. Вот. Я пуху уже, кстати, с ивента бомба прокачал 80-го и 5 игр. Сяо дал. Там будет, блин. Я как пуха для Сяо. Вот. Вот. Ну да, я думаю, что снег пора убирать с доставки. На следующем стриме его не будет, наверное, если я не забуду.
I've dealt with all kinds of people in my time, but never have I been made to stand while I'm waiting.
Oh, I mean,
That's called being complacent.
oh, come on.
All right, you two. Let's not get into a big argument over this. It's
Задание
not worth
убийц.
it. Qianwei, that was a bit uncalled for.
Лис это
I
та,
mean,
которая
bro, cut
музыкальные
it some
задания дает,
slack.
да, где? Правильно?
We've all been standing around. Look, how about
Кстати, в
this?
картах
There's no
появились
rule
3
saying we're obliged to stand
еще
up while we wait,
перса,
so why don't we borrow
доступных
some
стадий.
chairs from
Если
the
вы в
guild
карту не
nearby?
гамаете или гамаете, не смотрели на доску, то там появилось еще 3 персонажа после обновления. Я их уже победил. Что они там есть? Ты над именем Лис. Лис. Потеряла. Да, Лис, да.
Fine. They're
It looks like all 3 candidates have arrived.
Это Гелань?
Mm-hmm. We'll meet them formally soon. I've split it into 2 stages.
Точно, мы начинали
Current
этот
affairs and
квест
planning, and
случайно
face-to-face interview.
во время прохождения других квестов.
In the
Поэтому
first stage,
у нас немножко
candidates are
обрыв
required
такой
to submit a manifesto for Lua's development. In the
Я
second
вообще про
stage,
карты
we will
забыл.
ask
Ну,
them
я
some
как
questions
вот
in
я в
person.
понедельник прохожу всех боссов, прохожу карты. Я вспомнил, у меня же должна была это. Сейчас покажу.
Writing a manifesto takes time,
Так,
so I
что
informed them
забыл
of this
еще.
requirement in advance. These are the
Превращал.
reports they submitted.
Забыл, как они делают.
It's also worth
Сейчас они
mentioning a
дофлудят,
stipulation
я...
I gave them. Failing the occurrence of some cataclysmic event, there's still some time.
У меня, кстати,
Have a skim
уже у всех
through, get a
персов
first impression of what each
собраны
person's proposing.
золотые сеты.
I'll be waiting off to the side.
Я думаю, благодаря
Just let
этому
me
я
know when you're
12
done.
этаж. Факт. Я немножко поменял артефакт. Сейчас тоже забыл сделать сегодня. Вот. Параметрический преобразователь я забыл. Нельзя разместить здесь, что? Здесь нельзя его разместить. Давайте куда-нибудь. Здесь можно разместить? Так. Поставь. О, отлично. Так. Чтобы я впихнул. Чего она снимала? Это я точно туда впихивать не буду, это нужно. О, у нас есть 420 грибов. Давайте. Ого. Я покажу, какие артефакты я надыбал. Ой, бана. А чё так много оно произвело? Обычно дают какую-то фигню. Может, это зависит от места, где ты это делаешь? Нормально так. Так. Короче, по артефактам. Это я насобирал вот такой сет моллюсков. Вот, я смотрю блогеров, что они делают, и ты. Поэтому я собрал, ну, естественно, ведьму. Поэтому я собрал хроники чертогов Линии. Это сет кокон сладких грез. Ну, это, естественно, тему. Вот, это не читается. Поэтому я церемонию собрал. Беннету опять же ведьму. А это черная эмблема. Вот. Все практически все прокачаны до 20-го левела. Ого, я все крутки слал на дефе. Так я тоже слил на дефе. Да. Ну что-то у меня круток уже есть. Может быть сегодня. Да, можем в конце стрима крутануть. Да. Ищите план кандидата, если вышли. Значит, параметрический преобразователь может вообще что угодно. Да?
Finished?
Да, надо поднять. План кандидата. А, план щит. Но я опять начала копить. Так, я думаю, что следующий бар нам будет интересен, а в этот я буду все сливать, потому что
Finished, huh? What did
я
you
не
think?
Барбара.
Of course they did. They have the chance to. And keep in mind, whoever gets in has to execute their plan as written. That's for me to know, and we'll see the candidates now. Let's do.
Yes, ma'am.
Давайте не будем болтать полгода, да?
Oh, so you
У
two
нас
are the
так много
assessment
снега
officers,
навалило.
are you?
Так у нас тоже вон. Все побелело. Хотя пару часов назад еще асфальт был видно.
I had
Сейчас
assumed
пальцем
that
не
given the
видно.
great import of this
Снег
situation,
идет.
Lady Ningguang would. I trust you've read
Уже
through my
достала зима,
manifesto.
если честно.
I'd be more than happy to
Только
clarify
чтобы
any
зима
details you
прекратилась.
found difficult to grasp. It was written with an expert audience in mind, after all.
Mind your tongue.
Relax. It wasn't intended as a personal slight against anyone. A cloud retainer. You know, with your sterling reputation, you must have a respectable level.
Поднимите руки, кого достала зима. У нас вообще каждый год есть
Is it
шутка
my
такая,
turn?
что ешьте снег, пора катать.
Yes. Please introduce yourself.
Главное, не ешьте желтый.
I'm, Mingbo. I've worked there for, 9 years, 5 months. I have 12 active cases at the moment. They should be my current work is related to urban planning, and I'm also responsible for auditing the accounts.
Is it just Paimon?
You know what? Let's leave the self-introduction.
Oh,
Hello. What would you like to know? You're here to assess me, so ask away and I'll answer your questions.
Your manifesto is very wide in its scope, but you don't seem to be personally involved in many of
Делайте
the
песни.
specific fields. How can you be sure that you have the ability to put your plan into action?
Very fair question. I completely understand where you're coming from, but I'm confident in my plan. I've visited many different places. Of course, two different problems can be interconnected in very complicated ways, and you might reach two very
How do you plan to determine whether you are right or wrong?
A great question. Well, I'd start by having my colleagues in the if it turned out that my judgment was to blame for poor results.
Nice answer. All right.
Я так не понял, кого мы
He seems like a
изменили.
great guy. Everything he
Here's my take on what we just. As you saw, Qianwei is highly knowledgeable, but he is very proud and incredible. Mingguo's plan is more thorough and more measured. But he and Qianwei are otherwise polar opposites.
perfect summary. Paimon couldn't.
Last but not least, Yi. His manifesto is full of pertinent details. His the depth he goes into in each and every area means it can only be a product of painstaking work. Plus, he is modest, but what really interests me is that many of his views happen to coincide with Uncle Tian's.
Great.
We'll see.
Где там дядя? Там. Где дядя там? Ой, давайте не спите. Кстати, мне нужно 100 глазурных лилий.
quit following
Мне
me.
осталось 2 оболочки карт сделать. Глазурные лилии и естественно, надо будет по лилиям.
Quit following me.
А, он вообще в городе.
The wind rises.
All right, then let me ask this. The ideas in Yi's.
Oh, I didn't want to say anything when I gave you. Those 3 candidates have all stepped, but Xin Wei went on to focus on his business, and Ming Guo has always been.
Whoa. So how did you get to know them all?
Chen Wei was referred to me by an old friend. Ming Guo came to my attention in the course of my work. We first met while fishing. Jury came from a poor family, and his parents. He reminded me of a younger version of myself. So I started out giving him a few words of advice when we were out fishing, and quite. And now, all of a sudden, the young are growing up, and I am.
I don't know, Uncle Tian. You still seem in pretty good shape to me.
Oh, you. There's really no need to console me. Having less energy than I used to isn't such a bad thing.
Я периодически
It just
просматриваю
means
чат и
I
написал, что
finally have a good reason to retire and
я постараюсь
spend
всегда
my days
повод
doing what
увидеть
old
ваше
men
сообщение.
like me should be doing. Go.
Sounds like you sure love fishing, Uncle Tian.
Ooh, there's nothing quite like fishing to pass the.
Fresh fish soup.
Doesn't it? Also, some time ago, when we've been fishing recently, Jury always. That flavor makes for a fond memory.
Oh, can Paimon come next time too? Paimon really wants.
Let's get back to the matter at hand.
Когда начинаешь
Uncle
по еду
Tian,
говорить, меня
we've reported back.
голодняк.
Do you have a...
Mm-hmm.
Я вроде не
I
знаю.
appointed you as the assessment officer. Had you not asked me why Jury's ideas were so similar to mine, this decision must be guided by what is fair and right. Remember, you...
Understood. Come on, let's go talk somewhere.
Bye-bye, Uncle Tian. Look after your... So, it
Родственные
came up
связи,
his
все
manifesto
дела,
was
знакомые.
written well, and he's the best speaker.
Easy. Let's not rush.
Huh? So, are you...
No, nothing like that. The assessment itself is complete. The biggest no-no in intelligence work is to only get information from the person of interest themselves. For example, when you...
Yes?
Lady Yelan, what are your orders?
Ugh! Who are they? Where did they come from?
Did they scare you? These two are Wenyuan and Shanghua. As my trusted assistants, they are always standing guard nearby. Shanghua is a business expert who gets his information by trading. Wenyuan relies on word of mouth.
That meathead must have been out there on sea surveillance for some time now. Is he all right?
Nothing can take that guy down.
Shanghua, visit all the commerce guilds and look into Qianwei's background. Wenyuan?
Yes, ma'am.
So what about Jury?
Сама.
Zhi, well, obviously as the most promising candidate. Let's go to the docks first. Lots of people pass.
If we're looking for information, why don't we try talking to Bulat? He does business at the North Wharf.
That's
Quit following me. Behold!
Huh? What's Bulat doing here today?
Look, your asking price for this batch is just too high.
Come on, hear me out. I'm telling you, this is the single best batch. I accidentally dropped one into a well, and even the water turned.
Even so...
All right. I'll let you in on a little secret. The boss of Second Life also wants to buy from me, but I haven't responded. If you won't take them, I'll just have to partner with them and...
Okay, well, when you put it that way... Oh, what are you doing here? And to be clear, these Sunsetias are mine. I got to them first. Don't get any idea.
Actually, we want to ask you about a guy called
Jury? Yes, I've heard a story about him. They say he was born into poverty. One of his neighbors was terribly rude to him all the time. But Jury never retaliated. He returned cruelty with kindness. Injustice with peace offerings. A gentleman of talent and character, and... how did I know?
Oh, he sounds like a decent man.
Why are you asking about him anyway? You aren't looking for a brand ambassador too, are you? Well then, in that case, the higher bidder takes the... That's
99
Jury right over there. Why don't we go and talk to him?
Where?
It's him, all right. Looks like he's chatting with Linlong. Come on, let's follow them and listen and try not to let him see you. We want this information to...
I'll just go and fetch an employment contract. And hey, don't try and cut me out of this. Hey!
I understand. Let's walk and talk.
What's the hurry? Don't get too close, or he'll see you.
Я посмотрел, думаю, я поговорю.
Try not to let him see you. We want this...
I understand. Let's walk and talk. So, you were looking to buy a wineware set? Oh, now I can see that you're a connoisseur, so I won't bother trying to con you. I trust you understand our shop quite well?
The truth is, An old friend of mine who likes to have a drink now and then. He fancies himself as a man of culture, but doesn't care for needless extravagance. So I thought I might buy him a set of high-quality fakes.
How very thoughtful of you. Leave it to me then. Come and collect it at Shigu Antiques whenever it's convenient.
Подделку. Да. О, я знаю немного. Только можно открыть значит.
Thank you very much, Miss Linlong.
It's my pleasure, Mr. Juri. These days, it's quite rare for someone of your standing to still keep up with their old friends. It's nice to see. I'll be sure to pick out a good set for you. You can count on me.
Juri seems to get along really well with everyone. Are you satisfied now, Yelan? Seems like everyone...
We shouldn't jump to conclusions just yet. Let's go check out the wharf where he usually...
Do we have to wait? You're not just trying to dig up some dirt on...
Maybe I am. Maybe I'm not. But hey, you'll be able to try all the finest food for free.
We will? Well, come up...
Squall and fury. To the wind rises.
The wharf is as busy as ever. I hear the anglers here sometimes sell their fish to the nearby fishmongers.
Welcome. What would you like to buy today?
Sorry to interrupt. We're actually members of the... we've heard about this young man called Juri, who's supposed to be a fantastic fisherman.
Whoa! Yelan made up a whole fake identity.
Ah, yes, Juri. He's been making quite a name for himself recently. Apparently, he had a rather tough time growing up. Had to work several... How does that saying go? What doesn't kill you makes you stronger.
Yeah, we think so too.
But I'm afraid your Anglers Association might be...
Oh? Why's that?
He's good at a lot of things, but fishing isn't one of them. His catches are always mediocre. Not terrible, but equally nothing to write home about.
That sounds fantastic. I've got a couple of other things to attend to.
Sure thing. See you.
Everywhere they go, they meet someone who's heard of him. Come on, let's keep asking around.
Here to buy some fish? It's 300 for one or 3 for 1,000. You better hurry. When they're gone, they're gone.
Hello, we're from the Society for...
Wow, she switched up.
Society for Fish Price Research.
Please, don't worry. We're just here to We've heard about a certain Juri who's been selling...
So this isn't about me. You should have said something, you know. I haven't heard anything about him selling fresh fish at low prices, but...
Oh? Why is that?
Because he's so poor. His parents died when he was very young, and his alcoholic father still owed a huge amount of debt. He was still a kid when he first came to the wharf. His clothes were ragged, and he managed to survive, thanks to Uncle Tien, who gave him some food. But still to this day, he doesn't have... I mean, he can afford to eat and everything, but you'll often see him haggling with others over just a... It's not like he catches much anyway, so it's not going to affect...
You'd rather he didn't know?
Well, I spoke to him once, briefly, and I think he has pretty low self-esteem. But hey, it's hardly my place to say anything. What nobody's perfect. I just wouldn't want to upset him.
I see. Well, thank you for
Not a problem. And just for the record, There's absolutely nothing.
The more times you say it, the less convincing it.
Doesn't have a lot of mora to it.
Squall Fury!
Ты мой герой!
Hey, it's you guys. Wait.
Александр Мутабрат только
Oh
подписал.
yeah. Honored to meet you. What brings you to me?
The truth is, we are but newcomers to this territory. We heard tell of a
Really?
But of course, we also heard that Master Dooku is a kind and virtuous swordsman who never turns a—
Great! So what do you wish to know? Now she's lying to a kid.
So, Master Dooku,
Sure have. You mean that guy that all the— I've heard many tales of jury. Probably because it's nothing that important. I prefer stories about—
oh, I can completely understand that.
Oh yeah, I know that. Before that, people always used to talk about jury in a kind of nasty tone of voice. Sometimes he gives me candies, so I'm glad that people are starting to like him.
Just as I thought.
Huh? What do you mean?
I mean, just as I thought,
I'm not that great. Oh yeah, one other thing. These days, there's a—
Oh, definitely.
Great! So next time I see them, I'll say hi.
Certainly. You can also tell my friend in Yenshang Tea House about what they're up to.
Thank you, ma'am.
You're welcome. Well then.
Until we meet again.
Any of that sound strange to you?
Strange? Jiri seems to have a great reputation. Uncle Soon—
True. But the issue is, where did his sudden—
Sudden? Too good?
So he returns cruelty with kindness, and had to work to support his studies. These are the kinds of things that make someone well known in their hometown. Do you remember what Dugu Shuo said about Juri's stories? Clearly they left him with a good impression of the guy. But plus, there's the fact that all this praise of Juri has his childhood, his studies, the thing with his neighbor. None of the—
When you put it like that.
Of course, if that's all there was to it, I wouldn't look into it any further. Juri was born into a poor family. Paying people to get his stories out there is within the rules of the game. The problem is, do you remember what Uncle Gao said about him? He's stayed poor his whole life. Everything he's earned he's either spent on studying, traveling, or paying off debt. Right. And that changes everything. It can mean that's the worst case scenario. But all too often, the most pessimistic speculation turns out to be closest.
Someone's trying to gain influence over— Even if we ask Jiri about it, surely—
First, we need to find out who's supporting him. Don't worry. Remember the current affairs and planning stage of the assessment? Since the successful candidate is whoever is secretly helping Jur-E, must be seeking to benefit from his actions after his— Come on, let's get back to you.
Quit following me. Too slow. The wind rises. Squall Fury. The wind rises.
Jur-E's manifesto covers a huge range of topics. Looking for details that I'll divide the reports into two piles. You take— Officially, the assessment is already over, and I'll be expected to announce the results. Whatever else Uncle Tien might think of Jur-E, the fact remains that any evidence he's left is not going to be immediately obvious.
Even though Yelan took half, well, we gotta start some—
this reading is giving. Let's take a.
Looks like I'm the first one back, as usual.
Oh, hey! It's one of Yeon's little helpers, Shanghua. If you're back, that means you've.
You betcha. I visited all the commerce guilds and gathered a wealth of information. Every time they asked me to leave, but I always had another trick up.
Don't drag this out. Just.
Yes, Lady Elan. To summarize my findings, most people who've had interactions with Qianwei will start out complaining about the young master of the Feiyun Commerce Guild said that Qianwei appears arrogant, but he's very Once he signs a contract with somebody, he treats them fairly regardless of their background.
Who'd have thought?
Is it possible that his reputation is fake? Is there any way you can...
In theory, that should be very difficult. But here's the thing. Where he buys from and sells to should be confidential business information. Qianwei often sees business opportunities that others don't. But once he's made enough more off of it, it's like he gets sick of it and releases it. It's like he wants people to know that they still can't beat him, even if he shares all of his secrets.
What a strange guy. It's like he's not doing...
To validate his theories. No wonder his manifesto contains so many insights.
I'm back! Huh? Why do you think? Obviously, because I possess superior skills.
You... Ugh, whatever. I'm not getting into an argument with you. Lady Yelan, I have finished investigating
Well, we're all ears.
The Ministry of Civil Affairs says that Mingbois struggles to get his words out when he gets nervous. But after a few days of getting to know him, you can pretty much have a normal conversation with him. On the whole, the feedback from the...
In your opinion, was the Ministry of Civil Affairs...
I don't believe so. Mingbois is someone who has slowly but surely earned... According to Miss Yu, the ministry often gets Mingbois to take a final look at projects before they're implemented. Oh, and also, there was once someone in the ministry who was lying and cheating to try to advance their career. Mingbois gave them the skull...
Whoa, that's hard to imagine.
Like I said before, things are not always...
Ah, so that's what you meant by that.
Thank you both. You're free to go now. So, have you finished reading them?
We still have a bit.
I can't see any immediate problems looking at the individual entries. The only one that strikes me as a little unusual is the Chengshu Pool redevelopment. Chengshu Pool has always been home to many secrets. Plus, Ajdaha once wrought havoc there. At some point, a rumor began to go around that there is... A long time ago, with the approval of the Qixing, a mining team conducted an exploratory...
So, did they find any...
None. The ruin was completely impenetrable. The only way they could have gotten... The technology wasn't mature enough at that time. So the excavation project was... Zhi-Yi's manifesto focuses on solving problems. And this treasure hunt seems... Still, this one fact alone doesn't tell us much. Everyone wants to get their hands on this treasure. Did you...
Excavation? Project? Treasure? Did we read anything similar in our half of the manifesto? Oh yeah! Zhi-Yi said the Blackcliff Forge workers...
Did he now? Well, that makes everything much clearer. So Zhi-Yi wants...
Does that mean the Blackcliff Forge is Zhi-Yi's...
No, not likely. I've looked into the Blackcliff Forge before. They aren't involved with any... They do possess some specialized explosives. But it would seem more... Still, since the clues are pointing toward the Blackcliff Forge, we should...
Qianwei and Mingbo both turned out to be completely different than what we...
Если исполнить чудо, то, наверное, может...
What about Zhi-Yi? Is there another side to him too?
А, кстати, у меня же новые крылья. Крылья. Нежный это. Нежный год. Я закрыл дерево. Дерево мерзлоты закрыл.
You want to use my hat as an umbrella?
The audacity to even make that request.
По-моему. Сейчас я работаю над закрытием инструмента.
This is the Black Cliff Forge. Let's look around for clues.
What's this?
From the back, it looks like a ledger. But it seems that we don't know who wrote it, but it's interesting.
Do you think there's this?
Yes. Look, it says at this rate, by the time the Qingshu Pool redevelopment plan is, that'll give them the chance to take a lot of liberties. They can copy any. Imagine if we didn't suspect anything. By the time Jur-E recommends the Black Cliff Forge for the excavation project, no red flags if all they did was change some key staff. And even if we decided to vet the staff individually, they'd have had more than enough time by then to come up with fake identities. That's the advantage of planning this far in advance.
When you put it like that, it all makes sense. If we hadn't found this out, someone else would have stolen the treasure. So, who's really
That's a question for the newcomers.
Okay. Знаком.
Excuse us. We want to ask you.
I gotta say, these newcomers are in tip-top shape. My only complaint is that they're always going out. I guess they just need some time to adjust.
They go out drinking. This area is...
You got that right. They tell me it rained after work today, so they actually stuck around at the site for a while. But as soon as... Hey, you're only young once, right? I say.
Interesting. Let's go... Looks like our hunch was on the Mora. Drinking in Liyue Harbor, huh? Some cover story. Good thing it rained today. It means they'll leave footprints. I doubt they'd give themselves away that easy.
They went that way.
Если
Hurry, we gotta
идут
catch up.
Quit following me. Too slow.
These footprints are heading towards Liyue Harbor. Maybe we were wrong about them.
Just as I thought. They didn't go to Liyue Harbor. They went that way.
Quit following me.
The footprints stop here, but, judging from the direction, I'm guessing their destination...
Quit following me.
Бегал здесь что-то темное.
Looks like we were too late. This has gotta be where the newcomers rendezvous with whoever they're working for. Look at these ashes. Someone was burning...
Could there be anything left? Maybe the wind could...
The odds of that are very slim.
Why don't we wait for them back at the Black Cliff Forge? They've got...
We can't count on that. Clearly they were based here at one point. To me, that says that whoever's behind this has moved them...
Darn! Guess this is where a trail...
Make no mistake. The purpose of our trip wasn't to find any I smelled something peculiar the moment. Those newcomers probably thought they'd be safe as long as they burned the letters. But what they failed to
Really? Paimon can't smell anything.
Вот пили это.
There is a certain place with a freezing cold climate. Some wealthy people there put floral fragrance in their ink when that fragrant ink is burned. This, exactly. The evidence will soon be blown away by the wind, so it's nothing we can arrest, but it's all I need. Now I know who we're dealing with.
Lady Yelan! Oh, thank goodness I finally found you. I thought I'd never...
Don't be alarmed. This is Upei. He's Wenyuan and Shanghua's colleague. I sent him to look into Zhiyi's regular contacts. Since Zhiyi likes fishing, Upei thought he might know some of the fishermen and sailors. So I left him a note at Yanshang Tea House telling him to look for me at Blackcliff Forge when he got back. If there'd been an ambush waiting for us there, it means we'd have had some backup. So, what did you find out at sea?
Forgive my incompetence. I'm afraid I've come... I asked all the fishermen multiple times, but none of them had any interactions with Zhiyi before. Then the waves got so choppy, I ended up... When I got back, I heard that you'd gone to Blackcliff Forge and might need backup, so I went straight there as fast as I could.
Well, Uncle Tian said that Zhiyi once bought a recipe from one of the fish...
What? No, that's not possible. It's absolutely not possible.
Interesting. Then I wonder...
Fish soup?
Nothing. Our priority right now is to find a way to get our hands... Well, any suggestions? Not a bad idea. Upei, what do you think?
Honestly, I've already tried following Zhiyi, but the guy's too cautious.
Okay, so tailing's out.
No, we'll still need to tail him. But first...
Groundwork?
When you've worked in intelligence for a long time, you'll understand that tomorrow morning I'll announce his victory at Yuehai Pavilion. Take a guess what you'd be sure to arrive on time. You won't want to miss the
Да. Что вы орете? Андрей. Алиса. Хватит кричать всем. Что за крики? О. Так вот. Фиг.
There's no need to.
Андрей, ты меня слышишь? Том.
Change pleasantries. It's rather pathetic to force a conversation just to occupy silence.
It looks like we're all here. Well then, I won't drone on about the importance of the Tianshu role. Suffice to say that Uncle Tian entrusts...
All of us here know the score. Don't beat around the bush. Just get on with...
Qianwei has many pioneering ideas, but some of his plans are lacking in detail, and he easily gets into testy exchanges with other people.
Быстро. Сидеть здесь, Алиса.
Mingguo is reliable,
Не
but
доставай
not
Андрея.
ambitious enough, and because of his personality, he struggles to win people over.
Ты хочешь принципом на виску? Нет? Ну ладно.
In contrast, Zhiyi is evenly balanced across the
Идите
board
без.
and enjoys an excellent reputation in Liyue.
Алиса, не подходи к Андрею. Не провоцируй.
After much consideration, I have just...
What?
Oh, congratulations.
Thank you. Honestly, I'm a little surprised to hear my name being announced. In my estimation, all three of us are worthy candidates for the Tianshu position. Would either of you entertain the possibility of work?
I'll have to see.
I don't mind. As long as...
Okay, well, that's all from me. Zhi, you'll have some preparations.
I will live up to the Tianshu. I should go. I need to pack my things, and then I think a celebratory meal is in order. Would anyone like...
Count me out. I'm not in the mood for...
Zhi seems pretty relaxed now.
Hey, traveler, tell me something. If you can't answer that, I'm not accepting this result.
I, also wouldn't mind...
Oh no, if we get stuck here, we won't be able...
Follow him.
Yes, ma'am.
We finally...
Lady Yelan, Jury has gone towards Feiyun Slope.
Follow him, quickly.
So Zhi really sided with the Fatui? But Uncle Tian thinks so highly of him. Why would he do this?
Difficult to say, but everything should become a lot clearer when we find him.
I'm sorry, Lady Yelan. He's too good at this. We weren't able to keep following him without being seen.
How the heck did he manage to shake you? I guess Zhi didn't let his guard...
No, Upe says he's much more relaxed than usual. Maybe it's just how he's wired. Perceptive...
Don't blame yourselves. Let's not forget he was trained by Uncle Tian himself. Evading detection is... If I'd asked you to tail Uncle Tian, you'd have ended up at a dead end too. It's fine. So...
Xinyue kiosk. He only went in briefly. Upe and I were watching. A few moments later, a man dressed in a completely different outfit came out. Upe had a feeling that it was him. I figured that if we spooked him, it would undo what we've accomplished today so far. So I stopped Upe, and I stayed here to wait for you while that meathead went to ask around in Xinyue kiosk.
Good work. The fish didn't take the bait, but that's okay. As long as he's still swimming around, we'll find a way to catch him eventually. Let's go to Xinyue kiosk.
Андрей. Мне вообще-то стрим идет. Можно с этим как-то разобраться? Ну вот без криков и так далее, что сейчас происходит.
Could you explain to me how that works? A guy like him comes in, changes his whole outfit right under your nose, and you don't even ask him about it?
Our customers are free to dress however they please. What...
Okay, fair enough, but didn't you think it...
Well, maybe I did, but it still doesn't give me the right to...
Enough. Let's tone this down a little. I'll make this quick. Just one question.
Oh, he didn't buy anything. He just picked up a bottle of...
A bottle of liquor?
Yes, a very strong kind. Fiery. This gentleman ordered it in person from us a long time ago.
Liquor and wineware. I see. Let's go.
Where to?
Shigu Antiques.
Пусть пьет сколько хочет, Оля. Андрей, ты можешь пить сколько хочешь.
Hey, Miss Linlong. Sorry to bother you. Zhi ordered a wanware set. We're friends of his. He's been telling us how impressed...
Sure. Which model are...
we don't really know a whole lot about wineware. Let's just go with Zhi's choice.
Zhi picked up his set not long ago as a quality imitation of an antique wineware set. And just so you're aware, we don't have many of this model left in stock.
Don't worry. Price shouldn't be an issue. I'm sure we can work something out.
But for this set, the wine glasses are sold separately. Minimum purchases...
Okay. Thanks, Linlong. Seems there's a little more to buying wineware.
Well, don't take too long. We could sell out...
This is turning into a real
I'd just like to point out that we have the self-professed Grandmaster of...
It's not like you did any better.
My specialty is information trading, okay? I don't have the
Fair.
Yelan, so, if we can't figure out where Jerry went, there's not much...
If so, it's...
What do you mean?
First of all, Jerry isn't much of a drinker. On some level, if he was just looking to celebrate by himself, he wouldn't spend his... No. This is a victory. Whoever this person is clearly enjoys hard liquor and has a very... Now, where might we find Fatui who match...
Fatui officials.
Have both locations surrounded.
Lady Yelan, is it time for us to make our move?
Get with the program, would you? This is a covert in which case, we don't need to...
Great idea! So we just need to find...
But Lady Yelan, if we get caught, this could...
I'm well aware. But don't you see? Jerry is gambling everything. Stick to your orders, and make sure we're covering all other bases.
Yes, ma'am.
Don't worry, Lady Yelan. Jerry may be a slippery character, but we'll keep a close watch on the movement.
I'll be waiting for you at the tea house. If I'm guessing correctly, Fatui officials are likely to take action at night. You should go and get...
The wind rises. Quit following me.
Come on.
Quit following me.
Perfect timing. Wenyuan just sent word that the Fatui ambassador, Yusupov, just left the embassy alone. He's headed...
Chingshu Pool?
It looks like that's where they've arranged to meet. Sensible. Chingshu Pool is always crawling with monsters. Most people wouldn't dream of going...
Oh no, we gotta go get...
Let's go. If my hunch is correct... This is Chingshu Pool, full of ruins, crawling with monsters. Anyone with any sense steers well clear of this place. I've looked into the place before. There's a worker's entrance somewhere around here. Follow me. There's been some work done on this place in the past, but it's a bit of a labyrinth inside. I can't guarantee we'll be safe once we're underground. The workers left an emergency access route. If we can find it, this will be a Still, be ready to fight at any moment.
Don't worry, we're all professionals here. By the way, Yelan, where are your three little...
They have other things to take care of first. We couldn't afford...
Погнали.
Gotcha! No!
Come on, we can do it!
Burn!
Squall and fury.
Let's dance. Oh, as a good knight should.
as I expected. But this shouldn't be too much trouble.
Ambassador here to meet. That must be the emergency access route, right?
Too slow. Quit following me. Quit following me. Too slow. Quit following me. Behold!
This is the construction workers' emergency access route, but it's closed tight. Trying to break through would be risky. Let's see if we can find another way.
Retribution!
Unsightly insects! The wind rises. Too slow. Quit following me. Too slow. Behold!
The water's gone down. Hey, look.
Too slow.
Então, ainda tá.
Quit following me.
Необычно.
Too slow. Squall Fury. Behold! Quit following me.
Ready, steady, go! Let the show begin. Huh.
Verdict is...
The water's flowed into the groove, and now the statues have lit up. Okay, now we should be able to move the statues.
Let's go!
We should be nearly at the bottom now. Let's wrap this up.
Да.
Time to clean up. I'll protect us.
Cry loud!
Things are about to get dicey.
Leave it all to me. Someone needs assistance.
I can tell from the aroma that this is very fine liquor indeed. I'm impressed. Come on, bottoms up. You'll get there. If you want to stay friends with us, you...
I'll do my best.
You're more of a lightweight than I thought. Already struggling. I thought you were made of sterner stuff. You certainly kept it together when you were poisoning your teacher. Come on, another round.
Sure. You didn't leave me much of a choice, though, did you? Just the mention of poisoning sends shivers down my spine. I'm more timid than you realize. Every time I poisoned him, I had to hide away.
Look, I know it has not been easy for you, my friend. But I have to say, you really are quite a genius at poison. I mean, the poison we brought from Snezhnaya is as strong as this wine, but you found a way to turn it into an imperceptible. What was it you said? Oh, yeah. You said the soup's fishy flavor neutralizes the pungency of the.
It struck me one day when I was fishing. I'm lucky it did. Otherwise.
You have performed excellently. The Fatui will continue to provide the support you need to consolidate your position as Tianj. Aside from Qingshu Pool, we also have some other.
Don't worry. Whatever tasks you have.
Did you hear that? It was poison! What a nasty guy.
Hold on. Did you bring a camera? If not, you can use mine. This is quite a scene. We have to capture.
Excellent liquor. We've seen no progress on the diplomatic front, and everyone has been eyeing up, but soon everything will be taken care of. I remember when I first saw you. I knew right away that you would make a good partner for us. Hey.
How could I forget? You said a lowly commoner like me could never be seen as a serious. The only way is for you to shine bright in the Tianshu's darkest moment.
Yes. Under normal circumstances, just look at your two competitors. Qianwei had wealth. Mingbo had reputation. And that's why I decided to help you. You know, there's an old saying in the Fatui. Give a starving dog a bone, and it'll guard your home.
Yes. I cannot thank you enough for your...
You know, the best thing about you is that you do... heck, when you're not in the company of the Fatui, you'll be able...
Uncle Gao said that Zhi has low self-esteem. Seems he was right. He was worried that whatever advantage he might have now will diminish over time, so the Fatui persuaded him that he should act while he can. Do you have any more film in the camera? Then get ready to use it. Tonight's grand... How well this goes for us depends on how Zhi plays his hand.
Ooh, is there any more alcohol? Go on. Fill me up. I'm in a good mood today.
There's only a little left. Here, I'll fill your glass. If you like it, I can bring you some more next time.
Whoa, this is the good stuff. Huh? Zhi, you...
You seem surprised, Mr. How could I not? I've sacrificed years of my life studying and reflecting. You really think I'd put myself through all that just to become your...
You imbecile. It's the Fatui who got you to where you are.
Do you see the haystack in the corner? Underneath it is a pile of explosives. And next door in the dark, I'm gonna stay here till I see you slip into unconsciousness. Then I'm gonna set this on fire. Once the flames burn through the hay, they'll ignite the explosives. The ruins will collapse.
What do you...
I took the liberty of leaving some evidence of your contact with the undercover agents at the Black Cliff Forge. It won't take long for people to join the dots. The Fatui planted undercover agents in the Black Cliff Forge to steal their signature ruin-grade explosives. Their plan was to... But things didn't quite go to plan. Faced with the overwhelming evidence, the embassy won't investigate this any further. It explains why you acted alone, while exonerating the rest of the embassy of any liability. Of course, none of that will have anything to do with me. When all of this comes to my attention, I'm afraid I'll have no choice but to cancel the Qingshu...
Zhi, do you really think you're gonna get away with this? The Fatui... After I die, they'll come look...
A record? Oh, You must mean the one... Because when you contacted me, I also made contact with your associates. I have Theophan to thank for providing me with the... He'll help me tie up all the loose ends. He has been eyeing your position...
That traitor!
Shh, 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 shh. Relax. It's over. After tonight, everyone gets what they want. Sweet dreams.
Просто это заливать.
Someone needs assistance.
Squall Fury.
I did a little surveying on the way here and found that you'd left yourself 3 escape routes in case things... I have them all surrounded. If you're thinking of trying anything, we were here the whole time and have pictures of everything.
The game's up? Forgive, I happened to discover a Fatui operation here, so I approached them on the pretext of joining forces and eventually brought them down from within.
This is how you want to play it, huh? Fine. You do you. All we need to do to convict you is establish that the poison in... Nothing else you wanted to add?
One wrong move and it all comes crashing down. You followed him here, didn't you? Let's talk about this, Yelan. I gave you my word that I would live up to the Tianshu name, and that
Your point...
When I take office, I can guarantee that I will act in your best interests. I don't deny that I used underhanded methods to get here. But given my lowly origin...
You still don't get it, do you? Even now... What do you think? Exactly. Jur-E. Clever people can always come up with a good excuse. There's nothing wrong with wanting to win other people's respect, but when has Uncle Tian ever looked... He was like a teacher and a father to you, but you chose to repay that by poisoning him. Whatever paused...
That's enough.
Of course. What makes this even crueler is that you managed to convince yourself there was no other way. Uncle Tian, out of everyone in the world, he is the one who trusts you the most.
That's enough!
Life is like fishing. It cannot be rushed. Whatever you do, impatience will accomplish nothing. I was just like you once, desperate to prove myself. Only later did I realize things do not always turn out the way you plan. But you have to keep calm to carry on. You're still young. Be patient, believe in yourself, and don't look outside yourself to prove your value. Where's Jury these days? It's been a long time since he last paid me a visit.
Maybe he's just busy.
Well, next time, if he doesn't bring a pot of piping hot fish soup, don't let him in.
Whatever you were thinking about, you'll have plenty of time to mull it over in prison. Oh, I almost forgot. If the Fatui find out what happened today, prison might not turn out to be the safest place for you. Trying to have friends on both sides, it has a way of turning everyone against you. But right now, I have an opportunity for you.
Huh?
Sorry, things are about to get extremely busy for me. Let's meet at Yanshangti. I'll have someone remove the explosives. Then, there's someone I have...
Need our help with that?
No, it could be dangerous. You should leave this one, don't worry. As long as they're willing to co-op, get some rest.
О, ой, спасибо.
Too slow.
быстро, без А.
Quit following me.
There is now no poison left in his system, but recovery from the damage already done will not happen overnight.
Dr. Baiju, is my father...
You needn't worry too much. Keep taking the prescribed medicine every day, and a full recovery. It's good we caught it in time. A few days later in the top...
How did they successfully secure such a seldom seen point? Unfortunately for them, they...
Uncle Tian will be heading off now. Remember to...
Don't worry, I will. Thank you very much. Ah, you're here too? Thank you for all... Yes, the exhaustion seemed...
Luckily, it looks like choosing the Tianshu's successor is suddenly not such a pressing...
Hey, Yelan!
My work is mostly wrapped up, so I thought the assessment process comes to an end here, Uncle Tian. In my opinion, Zhi is not suitable.
You have my gratitude. People can change their loyalties easily.
Is it just Paimon, or is...
Don't underestimate Uncle Tian. He wouldn't have appointed me as a... Normally, the Yuehai Pavilion would be responsible for us.
Yes, to be quite honest, when I first met Zhi, I wondered if... I concluded that he had no ulti. In the end, even he changed. I never had any plans to recommend him directly, but I always intended to give him the chance to... I had no reputation to speak of when I first became Tianshu. I relied on Ganyu's assistance for all manner of things.
I have to admit, he's a smart... The intel suggests that the Fatui saw him as very low risk. He chose that specific liquor from Xinyue Kiosk because the fiery flavor would mask the bitterness of the poison. And he also installed a secret compartment in the wine pot he bought to hold the poison. Afterwards, we also found he had an antidote on him. Had the Fatui official grown suspicious, Zhi would have drunk the poisoned wine himself.
But that's still really...
Yes. Had he drunk the poisonous wine, he still would have faced serious health consequences despite taking the antidote. He didn't hesitate to put himself...
How is Zhi?
Well, I mean, he's sitting in a jail cell. Still, he's cooperating. He didn't turn down my offer to strike a deal.
A deal? Does this have to do with what you said to...
Yes, Zhi's not the one I'm interested in. If he was as far as this went, I'd have handed the case off to my subordinate. But once the Fatui became involved, things got a whole lot more interesting.
Well, did you?
Almost. Unfortunately...
Uncle Tian? Yelan? What are you talking about? Paimon doesn't...
Zhi colluded with the Fatui to try and secure the position of Tianshu. With Yusupov in our hands, and a statement from Zhi, we could afford to continue with a diplomatic offensive. Also, we'd be able to gain control of Theophon, Yusupov's second in. Pawns like this can be major assets. They open up all sorts of new options. Why else did you think I was investing so much time and effort?
So, okay, well...
We got halfway. The first part went off without a hit, but when we tried to make contact with Theophon...
The Fatui must be spying on us.
I found out from other sources that the Harbinger Regrator got involved.
Панталоны. Панталоны.
The Fatui's main forces aren't concentrated here.
Панталоны.
Regrator was only treating this as a peripheral concern. It's a pity that Theophon got away. But knowing which Harbingers are still looking at Liyue is something.
I have to ask, Yelan. Do you have any... I remember you showed some interest a few days ago at Yen...
Oh, that. I prefer my current life. There's danger, and although it'd still be a behind-the-scenes role, as Tianshu, I wouldn't have the chance to get involved. All right, I'm done here. Time for me to...
Where are you off to this time?
As you might have guessed. But I'm sure if you keep going as you are, getting yourselves involved in other people's... Maybe I'll see you the next time danger beckons. Until then, keep your wits about you. A lot. If you have any more questions, just ask Uncle Tian.
Это до задания. Так, сейчас небольшой перекурчик, и мы начнем следующий. Я не знаю, какое, но я могу показать, что нам осталось. Я не знаю, что нам сейчас попадется. Могу показать, что осталось. Осталось совсем мало. Осталось 4 задания, и какое-то из этих нам обязательно попадется. Практически все с примеру. Так, сейчас перекур. Я думаю, что мы одно задание легенд еще пройдем, а остальное оставим на потом. Так, если что, я чат читаю. Вот это вылог, что там. Квестом. Интересная история. Да, текстовая. Да. Грустная, интересная история.
There's no such thing as pure freedom in this world. Even the wind cannot blow on forever.
Вот, молись, уже.
There's no need to exchange pleasantries. It's rather pathetic to force a conversation just to occupy silence.
Так, он 10 секунд. Секунд вернись. Подойдешь. Алиса, что ты делаешь со стулом, а? Так.
There's no such thing as pure freedom in this world. Even the wind cannot blow on forever.
Поехали дальше. О, интересно, что нам сейчас попадет? Феникс, золотой шакал. Ну, золотой шакал, я знаю, что это этот. А вот, госпожа мудрости. Сок. Госпожа мудрости это значит Нахида. А сок, вот, наверное... Ладно, давайте подряд. Ой.
The wind rises upon the gale.
Traveler, you've...
Wait, this sounds like
It is as you say. The commission this time around is of high importance.
Huh? What happened?
Not long ago, we received word that a
А, это
Contaminated?
Сигнади,
You
наверное.
mean a new
Точно.
withering zone?
Это
I
кое
don't know
Сигнади.
about the specifics, but I hear that the Avidia Forest inhabitants won't leave their homes so easily. If we allow, that's why I want to ask you to investigate the situation. Even if all...
This is forest business.
О, там, кстати, грибочек.
This is where you've been, Tainari? That's...
Shh. Keep your voice down.
Tainari, am I going to die? And tell Suna that I'm sorry for breaking her toy. I didn't tell her because Tainari, I heard that people turn it.
What happened?
Okay, enough nonsense. You just have a small fever. Take your medication and rest.
Really? Then can you keep the thing about the toy a secret?
No can do. You're a big kid now. Once you've recovered, go and...
Oh,
Hey, let me ask you something. I recall that you...
I don't know either. Mom, it's different from before. I got lost, and after I got out, I...
Could it be?
So that's how this whole mess happened. Anyway, Traveler, Paimon.
Mr. Forest Watcher, how is my...
I gave him some antipyretics. Let him rest. I told him that he would feel better after some medicine and rest, but I only said his symptoms resemble a fever, but something else is causing them.
What do we do? Mr. Forest Watcher?
If memory serves, a plant called Vasanti grass can help soothe the mind. A small number grow in arid deserts. They usually look like shriveled wheat. They're expensive and unable to grow in the Avidia forests. I'll ask the caravans. Go find Kale, have her prepare medicinal tools and a set of
All right.
Contaminated region, huh? Is that why you two are also here?
Yep. Is it a new...
Doesn't seem like one. Whether you look at scale, internal conditions, or... The only thing they have in common is that they aren't welcome. This...
We feel the same way.
All right. Let's contact the caravans first and purchase some Vasanti grass. There's no time to waste. We have to move...
Too slow.
Знаешь, вот, ну, можно грибочек. Если лень собирать, можно проходить раз в 2 дня, по-моему. Да, раз в 2 дня. Почки лень собирать. Можно проходить грибов. Да. О, Феникс канал, привет. Я от чата отвлекся. Я не знаю. Нет, просто. Да, золото.
Excuse me. I'd like to purchase some Vasanti grass. Do you
Подлагивай.
have any?
I'm sorry, Mr. Forest Watcher, but we've been closed.
Closed? Now that's odd. It's my first time
Да,
hearing you
да,
say something
нормально
like that.
вроде. Ого.
It's a long
Все
story.
путем, все
Some of
как
our goods were
всегда.
stolen recently.
А когда снег растает, вообще будет замечательно. Хочется уже на мотоцикле ездить, а погода говорит, снег. Блин, поскорее бы весна уже победила снег, все растаяло бы, и было хорошо.
They were mechanical parts that we got from the academia. Although they're old model, our caravans had to pull together more to afford those parts. Now that they've been lost, we'll likely come up short this trip.
Мне что-то микрофон какая-то висит. Так, теперь должно быть слышно получше.
All the merchants talked it over and we decided to
А
raise
может,
the
я просто
prices
тихо
of our
говорю.
remaining inventory. Until this plan takes effect, none of us can privately sell anything.
I don't get it. If these goods are so important, then why not think of a way to get them back? Raising prices won't solve anything. At best, you're shoving the consequences of the robbery onto your customers.
Mr. Forest Watcher, it's not that we don't want to. We asked around and apparently the forest has been very... We can't keep waiting out here for the thief to come out. All we could do is come up with...
So the bandit hid in the contaminated region. How many people were there in total? Were they not affected by the contaminated region?
That crook came from the contaminated
О,
region.
хорошо.
As for how many, there
Нормально.
weren't
Отлично.
any people.
No people?
Even if I tell you, you might not believe...
What the heck?
Механический краб,
The
что?
Avidia forest has creatures like that?
To be honest, I'd rather not think about it. It moved. It came out of nowhere. Before we could react, we were all shocked. By the time we came to our...
I see. If we help you retrieve your stolen goods, then business...
Oh, but of course! Not only that, but you'll become one of our care...
Enough. Tell me something that's actually useful.
Maybe one. After our goods were stolen, if you're interested, you can go and talk to them.
All right. We'll go and have a word.
Механический краб. Нифига себе.
After the goods were stolen, I made multiple inquiries with nearby caravans. It turns out that many others have also been
Обязательно
robbed by
смотрите
the
последний
crooked
ролик,
crab.
который вышел на канале.
However,
Мне кажется,
the
он
crab only seems
дался
to be interested
и
in
с звуком там
machinery.
все хорошо.
Doesn't even bat an eye at other valuables.
Писался на этот же микрофон, который мы сейчас...
A caravan carrying a large amount of more had an uneventful trip, but another caravan had a child whose metal toy was taken. Whatever the case, that thing is a scourge. We'll event...
Quit following me.
That mechanical crab is fast. 10 of us might not even be able to take that thing. Didn't the academia ban research on mechanical life forms? Our salaries even got slashed because of it. Who would have thought that that robber was on a huge...
Бедствие великой лапки. Так, кто-то
I
из
heard from the caravanners that there have been a lot of robberies lately. We don't normally see the mechanical crab, and it only shows up when the caravans are here, and it runs...
You haven't tried capturing it?
We have, but it's too agile and fast. However, we did unexpectedly learn something. It apparently lives in the deepest part of the forest. So instead of immediately moving, once its stash grows large enough, it moves everything in one go. You'll have to move fast if you...
How are things? Did you make any progress?
We learned of its behaviors, but much still remains unclear. Assuming normal operational status, mechanical constructs, if I were its owner, I'd command it to steal more valuable things. But it only goes after mechanical components.
Right. It's...
So, you all found...
Do you have any more mechanical parts with you?
Yes, I still have a small bag of samples. They weren't taken. Oh, are you playing?
Under constant external conditions, organisms rarely initiate. Here's what we know so far. It has a mechanical composition. It lives in the... If we have said components, we can lure it out, capture it, and then make well, chatting like this...
You're right. We don't have any other options right now. This bag of samples is all yours, Mr. Forest Watcher. If you can get our goods back...
We don't need anything in return, but I'll be keeping this bag. I may have other... We'll also need to borrow a sumpter beast. Our act has to be convincing if we want the crab.
Oh, yeah. No problem at all. If it means getting our things back...
I'll have to decline that offer. Anyway, we'll use... Once it appears, capture it. I leave the time...
Don't worry, we're professional.
Ну, типа лесной страж. Я не разбираюсь в этом.
Looking at the trade routes and the contaminated region's current perimeter, the goods were likely stolen somewhere around here.
Then let's get to it.
Okay. We'll start from here and have the sumpter beast with the... This sumpter beast isn't familiar with us yet, so...
The sumpter beast went ahead. Let's keep up.
Следуйте за вечным яком. Ладно. Ючный, я не вижу ючниц.
Why did it stop?
Looks like it's loafing around. Or maybe it's hungry. The caravanners grew dis...
All right, it's moving again.
Далеко он ушел. О, паук. Видно, язык вечно подавился. Куруру.
Did you hear some... Ah! Is that the mechanical crab the caravan was talking about?
It looks strong. Be careful.
Know your place.
Кому победили?
Just try to escape this time, you... Hey, playing dumb won't save you. Spill it. Where are you...
It doesn't seem capable of comprehending complex questions. I don't know why you're stealing mechanical parts. Stolen items must be returned to their rightful owner. You came from the depths of the contaminated region, right? If you take us there, I'll give you some mechanical parts as a reward.
It reacted.
We can't be certain yet. Its excitement...
Okay, so you want the crowd to lead us into the contaminant...
That's right. The contaminated region has a large and currently expanded... If we charge straight in, we'll get lost like headless pigeons. Also, our new... I've been studying this contaminated region recently, and I have a hypothesis of my own.
Paimon gets it now. Does the scuttler understand what...
It doesn't have to, as long as it isn't hostile towards us. I gave it some components that it will definitely take back to the contaminated region. So long as it doesn't attack us, we can simply follow along.
It seems to be really...
Listen to me. Wait for us here. We'll be back soon. If you're still here when we return, I'll give you another mechanical... I'm not sure. But our priorities are to retrieve the mechanical components and to purchase Vasanti grass to make... We should return. But before we do, we need to set up a few...
Виталий торгует. Ну ладно, погоди.
The wind rises.
Oh! Oh! These are the mechanical parts that were stolen! You really got them back for it! Thank you all so very much. I don't know how I can... Don't worry about the price. They're on the...
2 is enough.
No, that won't do. Here, I'll throw in some more.
No need. I've already...
Reward? You mean that bag of mechanical parts?
But those parts are very useful to me. I retrieved the things you needed, and you gave me what I needed in return. Oh, and before we go, just a reminder, the forest has an intricate and biodiverse ecosystem.
Noted. Thank you all ever so much.
Let's return to the village. The earlier we can give the child medicine, the...
Мне кажется, этот квест должен быть покороче. Ладно.
Oh, hi there, Traveler and Paimon. Master, I prepared the pharmaceutical equipment. Do you need me to...
No need. A precise dosage is required.
Oh.
But once I'm done, you can deliver the medication to the child. He gets a little nervous when I'm around for too long. I don't think he... I'll go prepare the medication. Traveler.
How is he? Doing any... I feel like he's doing a... That's wonderful! Oh yeah. He asked me to tell you that Suna came by early. Suna didn't get mad, so he wanted to thank you.
It's nothing. Did you prepare the traveling?
Of course I did. Are you going somewhere?
Yes. We're going to the contaminated region. Judging, I'm leaving everything to you while I'm gone.
Huh? But I can't even begin to compare to you.
Many things are learned by doing. And once they've been done, you'll deal with problems as you yourself see fit. You don't have to...
That's right! You'll do great, Kale. All right, then I'll do my best. Master, Traveler, Paimon, take care of yourselves.
You put too much confidence in me. Anyway, let's return and find that crab.
Quit following me.
Будь здоров. Здоров. Ушел в другое место.
Everything was
Твою мать, он умер.
Huh? Where did it secretly scuttle away?
The traps weren't... You honored our agreement and waited here. As such, I'll hold up my end and give you another mechanical part. Keep it safe. Glad you're satisfied. If you want more mechanical... I want to see what happened there.
Let the show be...
Behold! Search forth. Too slow. Quit follow.
So this is the contaminated region that everyone's been talking about. It's like really.
Do you feel unwell at all? Good. It's as I predicted. Elemental power confers a
How do you know that?
I haven't entered the contaminated region for a proper investigation. My observations during our time here have all but confirmed my hypothesis. Look at these flowers. How are they different from normal? This flower species is formally known as the Sumer. They're sensitive to ley lines and emit varying amounts of light in response. Excessive brightness indicates it. From the looks of things, the ley lines around.
You're saying the contamination here is coming?
I can't confirm that right now, but I think let's take another look around and see if we can discover more.
The wind rises.
You know, we haven't seen any animals this entire time. The birds used to chirp really loudly, and there were a lot of...
This contaminated region currently appears to have a critical efflux of ley line energy. Some animals have keen awareness.
Leaky ley lines sure can cause a lot of damage.
Like how plants have preferred growth conditions, we also grant climate, temperature, humidity, intensity of ley line energies. This equilibrium is broken when the surrounding environment. If normal fluctuations in temperature occur, then our bodies automatically adjust. However, the average person cannot adapt to.
Then why are we okay?
I'm not sure why you are, but he and I are fine because our elemental capabilities allow us to adapt. Of course, it's not a good idea to spend too much time in areas with concentrated ley line energy. That's about it for the investigation. Help me find an open space. Environment, no wind. Target parameters, setup complete. Excellent. Looks like it's working.
What's this?
A purification device that I made. It can absorb excess ley line energy.
What a neat thing! Let's set up more and cover...
I wouldn't mind if that would actually work. The purification devices have their limits. At best, if we want to permanently eradicate the contamination from the ley line effluents, we'll need to tackle the source. That's right.
Huh? The mechanical crab?
Something's approaching. So that's it. Now that the ley line energy has stabilized, get rid of them quickly. Don't let them get close to the purification device.
Squall and fury.
Whew. That's all of them. Hey! Where are you? Wait for us! Let's hurry and keep up. The mechanical crab went that way. Let's keep up.
Help! Help!
Upon the gale.
Spare me, please.
Hey, are you okay?
These injuries are superficial. Don't move, I'll patch you up.
Don't worry, we took care of him.
Oh, good.
О, ну Костя озвучен, вот это круто.
It's a monster! Hurry, attack it!
How do we explain this? Krabby, it heard you shouting for help and brought us here to rescue.
It's faking it. It has to be. Do you know what's inside the forest? I just came here to pick her. I gotta get out of here. Be careful. These no wonder the academia wanted to completely ban the existence.
His inarticulate speech and bodily tremors indicate psyche disruption. We've purified the ley line energy over there. Follow this path out and you'll soon see the village. At that point, someone will bring him to Kale for help. I already prepared medication that will return him to normal. So you think you did a good job and...
It's so hard to understand.
All right, regardless of what you're thinking, that's why I'll give you another mechanical part. Guess not. Well, make sure to hang on to it. And also, how do you feel about that person saying that you're as evil as the other mechanic?
Okay, it definitely doesn't understand.
It seems like it possesses limited understanding only towards help others to get parts. That's probably its thought process. As for why it's getting late. So let's set up camp for the...
Let the show begin.
Quit following me. Too slow.
Hey, over here. Come on, you big lummox. Raise your head and look up.
The moon rises.
Let's set up camp here.
All right. Paimon also thinks it's a good...
Oh. Any particular reason?
This place is perfect to put up a big tent. We can also set up a cooking pot and cook tons of delicious...
You're not wrong, but the primary reason for choosing this rainforests are very wet. You should all... For the next tasks at hand, let's divide and conquer.
Leave it to Paimon. Paimon's...
I'm not expecting that much. That's right. You can use rushes. Their piths are relatively dry and can be readily set aflame. The down...
Traveler, Tainari, Paimon didn't know that rainforest had so many interesting plants until we... Paimon also saw wild berries on the ground, and Paimon was gonna fly over...
Those were probably deadleaf butterflies. They camouflage as dead leaf. My guess is that they mistook you for a bird when you flew over, so they fled. Never mind. The tent's up, so you two go rest. Oh, you found some already.
Hey!
Paimon
understands it this time. It wants...
Sorry, no part this time. That task wasn't important enough. If every little thing I'll note little things like this and give a cumulative reward at a later time. That is...
It looks really sad.
After some further thought, it might come up with... I'm off to prepare dinner. We'll take shifts on lookout duty tonight.
We need lookouts?
Yes. Even though most animals fled because of the ley lines, we can't... It's settled then. I'll set up some pest-repelling devices so poisonous insects don't come crawling. Have a good night. Not too good, though.
Paimon's getting sleepy. Is this because of the ley line? It's been a while since we camped outside like this. This is like when we just started...
You're awake earlier than I expected. Did you sleep well? That's good. I was worried that you two wouldn't be able to sleep, so I specially used 2 of my homemade incenses. Don't worry. They're made from all natural ingredients. They have a light fragrance. Speaking of which, have you seen the... It was scampering around over there just now, but I don't know where it went. So you can tell. My suspicion is less towards the crab. A ley line effluence of this magnitude occurred without any warning. Someone... Until we fully understand the situation, take extra caution. The academia has banned mechanical... Topics related to mechanical life forms were popular in the Spontama for a time. They proposed an intriguing idea. Use our knowledge to create... However, no matter which modules or parts are installed, a machine is in their pursuit to discover the differences between mechanical and biological life forms. Zealous researchers... The irony is that the researchers became even more impetuous afterward. That's a difficult question to answer. I'm interested in the topic of mechanical life, but I don't like the researchers' attitudes. It's just my personal opinion. My ancestors and the Valuka Shuna of the desert coexisted together and supported one another. The bloodline of my people was born from this, so to me, all life is important. To understand life, life is not an expendable commodity, and knowledge should not be wielded like a scepter. These are the points of contention I have with some By placing yourself above other life forms, what kind of results do you expect to get from researching pure life? Really? Well, I'm glad to hear it. Coffee? Did you prepare this for us? All right. Seeing that you're working so hard to help, you're not planning on using it. Many of your own parts are critically degraded, and you're running low on power. All right. Suit yourself. Oh, and thanks for the night watch is yours. Stay...
Sorry. Paimon slept through the entire night. Don't worry. Paimon...
Good morning, Traveler and Paimon. Quick question. Do you feel... me too. The farther in we go, the closer we get to the...
Is there something we can do?
Extinguish our fire so we don't set the entire forest aflame. Also, retrieve the pest-repelling devices from last night.
Got it! Paimon will take care of the fire.
All right. Let's meet back here. All right. It's about time to head out. As we go, the effects of the ley lines will also increase. If you try to conserve as much energy as possible until...
Squall and Fury.
As I thought, the closer we get to the contamination source, the more mechanical monsters that appear.
Come on, we can do it.
Time for retribution.
Wretched vermin!
Leave it up to me.
Verdict is...
вот на некоторых моментах бывают фризы. Если быстро перещелкнуть, то фриза нету.
Upon closer inspection, the plants here are really different.
В диалогах.
Leyline energies are also stronger here. This may be... Ready yourselves. We're going in.
Вот опять фриз пошел. Видите? Сейчас перещелкну. Фриз исчез. Тоже одно из сядущих таких. Да, этот квест получается короче. А, я же еще фигня не играл.
Looks like there's no way to sneak by. Let's take care of them quickly.
Leave no stone unturned, as a dutiful maid would. I'll protect us.
The wind rises.
Keep up.
Ну, конечно, я получил фигнали, легу. Она у меня есть, но я еще и не играл.
Huh?
What is this?
Опять пошел лох.
Leyline energy is spilling out from here.
Да, именно вот в видосиках лагает.
This device, it's extracting energy. Who in the world would do this without considering the consequences? The ley lines won't be able...
It's terrible! We have to stop it!
Standing here is equivalent to being directly showered in ley line energy, which may... Take Paimon and get out of here. I'll see if I can find a way to turn this thing off.
Wait! You're also vulnerable! We're staying! We can't leave you...
Then let's look for it together.
Вот это
If there is no control
лаги.
unit here, then there must be a trapdoor.
Так лагает.
You know where it is? Hey! Wait for us!
Keep up. Enshroud.
Как наш пробный фигнали идет. Ладно, а лук какой у нас? Такого не видел. Хоть черта, па. Красиво.
What's this? It'll only show up if you step on it?
Be careful and watch your step.
Какой-то ученый. Он, ему, наверное, плохо от того, что он...
Look! Someone's here! Are you the one that's taking the ley line's energy? Turn on! Why aren't you saying anything? Too ashamed?
His body is cold. It's
Неплохо.
emaciated, and his eyes are sunken, likely from chronic malnourishment and stress. Almost forgot about you.
What is it doing?
I'm not sure. Judging by the file room will definitely give us some clues. So let's go. This place is a natural hiding spot with how hidden it is. The pipes continue further. Let's head in.
Did you two find anything?
There are a lot of lab notes, but it would take way too long to read through them all. I found a tape recording used...
Tape
Yes, the Spontama created a device that visually records... However, these devices are expensive to make and aren't entirely stable.
Come on, let's watch it.
Hold on, let me figure out how to play the tape. It goes in there...
Kakata? Kakata? Seriously, I look away for 1 second and you're gone? There you are. Look here. This is our new home. I, Abatui, will unleash my talents here and amaze those ancient fossils at the Academia. Oh, you're also quite happy, Kakata. Yes, listen up, Kakata. I'm going to make a mechanical life form that can be mass-produced. I'll use mechanical organs, and electric currents will course through them like blood. A steel-cast heart that will beat forever, and a brain of myriad components that inspiration from the ruins and the research that the Academia had banned. When you can understand our language and live among us, you will no longer be a boring machine, but a It's fine. You will understand.
Karkata is the mechanical crab, right? And that researcher named Abatui said he wanted to prove something to the...
I remember now. I had a junior researcher named Abatui. He was expelled from...
Junior researcher?
Yeah? Well, what's wrong?
Nothing. Paimon was just wondering...
He is, but academic progression isn't tied to age. I finished my studies a while ago, so subsequent...
Oh!
Of course, age can be an issue. For a while, people always... that isn't important. Let's go and see if we can find other tape recordings.
Какой спокойный, интересный квест.
A date is written on it. Let Paimon...
That's quite the time gap.
It's rare that you malfunction because of an operational error. Seems that making coffee is still somewhat difficult for you. Or is there an issue with my set parameters?
Oh,
all right, there you go. Water entered the Keela and caused it to short circuit, so it couldn't receive signals. Look at me, talking to you like this. You can't understand me anyway, can you? It's fine. Try moving around. Everything in working order? Be more careful next time. We're tight on money right now, so we don't have a lot of parts or... I'm glad. Kaka.
After Abatui left the Academia, everyone lost... I thought he was so despondent that he gave up on researching mechanical life forms.
Paimon doesn't feel like he's a bad person. He even changed out
Let's... Following the serial numbers, the writing is sloppy. Perhaps his state of... There's also an undated tape in the wrong spot.
Maybe Karkata helped him?
It's hard to say.
Sorry, Karkata. I was just... In my recent experiments, I successfully gave you... When you're low on power, or if one of your parts is damaged, you will prioritize your survival command. And that is a very dangerous thing. I've officially activated the 3rd generation ley line extractor. The ley lines conducting research on mechanical life forms requires a large amount of power. Even if I'm also getting tired, Karkata. I don't know what's driving me to continue with this research. They say that even if it simulates the operation of a living creature's organs, a machine is still an ice-cold tool. I want to prove them wrong. I'm not talking about anything cheerful. Modules for language, emotion, and movement. I've been working my absolute hardest to augment and refine your functionalities. But you are my finest success. But even you can't understand me. All you can do is execute. Karkata. I wish you could speak to me. Yes. It is what it is. In a few days, I'll sell the failed ley line extractor for some more and continue. This is new. If I place another 2 control modules here, of course my heart decides to act up now. Why, strange. Oh no, I have to shut down the extractor. Shut it off. If we let them recharge indefinitely. Right. I never input a command to shut down. In the end, it's just like the academia said. Mechanical life forms. I'm sorry, Karkata.
I see. So the ley line after Avatui's unexpected death, the mechanical monsters were driven by their instincts, and
Paimon understands. Then
because Karkata is different from the other machines. Structures similar to living organisms, the ability to cry and laugh, and capacity for perhaps only by building such a machine could he have. But if he had slowed down and saw Karkata as a friend instead of an experimental Karkata can't speak.
what does that mean?
You'll see in a bit. But before that, first, let's find the control unit for the ley line. Keep up.
Так, я сундук не помню.
More of this transparent flooring.
Точно, прозрачный пол, господи. Ой, длинный просто. Как там пройти-то? Вот.
Below us is the final room. The control unit is likely in there.
The land's here.
Твою мать.
Wanna try jumping down?
Squall and Fury. Search for it.
Пошло не по плану.
Behold.
Leave it all to me. Let's dance.
The wind rises.
insects.
Time for retribution!
This should be the control unit. Once we turn it off, the ley line extractor should... Without an external force damaging the ley lines, they should start to slowly repair themselves. Oh, but I bet you two are more worried about
Ну, это
Karkata.
хлеб морозилку
Let's head
брать.
back.
Блин, очень запутанное место. Вот его поставлено на дороге. Отработочку. А, он пытается сердце сделать. Вот для чего он собрал детальки. Блин, прям грустная история. Очень.
So, Karkata has been collecting parts because it thinks doing so will fix its owner?
Karkata is unable to understand the... However, it probably remembers when Abatui replaced its parts when it malfunctioned. It's true that Karkata isn't able to think or understand many topics, but it is like a...
So that's why it kept stealing mechanical parts. But it can't repair it.
Yes, but the important thing is that it formed the thought of what... No one knows how this thought came to be, but it is even if it really is as we've predicted, this research truly will make waves in the academia. It might have been possible to achieve this with ancient technology.
Karkata? Can you hear Paimon? Tainari says you're up.
It reached its limit. It hasn't recharged this it's a miracle that it managed to hang. I'm going to confirm that the ley line extractor has shut down. Let them be alone for a... The ley line extractor has ceased operations.
О, вот здесь лагает, опять в
Traces
этом
of ley
месте.
line energy are still in the atmosphere, but the effluence's source has been stopped. Moving on, those affected by the ley lines need immediate care. We'll put up an announcement on the bulletin board about the dangers of entering the contaminated... According to the academia's policies, we need to bring... Research materials related to mechanical life forms will be destroyed.
What the heck?
You two should return first. Although we've stopped the source of the effluence, the ley line energy in the... Listen, the Traveler hasn't... Also, it'll take some time to pack up all the research documents. You're not familiar. Tell the Adventurers Guild that the incident has been resolved, and then get... Oh, and don't talk about Abatui. The fewer that know about...
All right. Then Let's go back to Cat.
Да, научный гость. Ну, интересно.
Anyway, so the contaminated region turned up.
I see. Once the excess ley line energy dissipates from the air, this is the stipulated reward. Please
Is Karkata? It's already damaged, but Paimon feels sad. Oh, then how about we find Tainari? Paimon really wants to go right now, but Tainari said that we would discuss matters tomorrow. We'll probably make... Alright then, we'll find Tainari tomorrow and...
Guess we can rest a bit.
How are you feeling? Sleep well?
Я знаю.
We should go find Tainari. How do you think we should ask him? Tainari!
Shh, keep your voice down. The lilac daphne, a daphne of the genus Thameliaceae, extrapolating from these two datasets, it would be particularly potent against
Karkata?
Oh, I thought I told you all to keep your voices low. Plants aren't afraid of noise, but your shouting is making my ears...
You didn't disassemble Karkata?
Why would I do that?
But Paimon thought you said, according to the academia...
So that's why you two barged in like barbarians. What I meant was, according to the academia's policies, all products of research must be destroyed. Anyway, the first thing I did was repair Karkata. During my time at the end, we then buried Abatui together. After organizing the research, I'm not with the academia. So what do their policies have to do with me? On the other hand, I am the forest watcher of the Avidya forest. All life brought forth in this world has meaning. And Karkata is no exception. If it exists, then it shouldn't be carelessly...
That's good. Wait, you just said life form.
The possibility exists, is all. It's hard to... Abatui only left behind a small portion of his research. Maybe a conflict between all those commands result... From a more rigorous perspective, it is impossible to conclude that Karkata is a real life form. By the way, I'm not interested in continuing research on this subject. I'm just letting it... But as things stand now, it wouldn't be a bad idea. What do you think?
Отлично. Итого у нас, в принципе, осталось 3 задания легенд. Мы их оставим на следующий стрим. Он пройдет, наверное, в конце недели. Мы вот пройдем Сайна, Нахиду и Аль-Хайтама. Сегодня мы тоже закончим. Вот. Поэтому, завтра будний день, многие работают, я нет. Поэтому мы на этом заканчиваем. Вот. Спасибо всем, кто смотрел. Вот. Спокойной ночи, хорошего завтра рабочего дня. Всем пока. Всем добра.
You should really bring the Knights of Favonius with you next time.